when you look at life, you see some people who've had some really great success and they have a big house, fancy car, all those sort of things, and they're not happy. And then you go neighborhood over and there's somebody who doesn't have much at all and they seem to be super happy. And I think what it really comes down to is being happy with what you have and not projecting out with what you don't have. And a lot of people, even those who have a lot, they're always thinking about what they don't have.
So Alan, why is having a sense of gratitude so important for elite athletes?
So from what I've determined being around great programs, elite athletes, old and young, is that those who remember that they're fortunate, that this is a rare opportunity, and I think they know that, and it sometimes adds to the pressure of performing and getting everything right. But those who know, this is temporary. This is I'm so fortunate to have the resources and the exposure and the guidance and all the things. I think those people. Those are the ones who really make the most of the challenges and handling all the complexities and balancing all these different things, because they realize that this isn't like you're in war and the next decision that you make is going to be someone's life,
right?
Or your own,
right?
Or that you are attempting something that's going to determine the outcome of millions of people or something like that. That it's just a game, and it may feel like it.
Yeah.
It may, especially when you're getting yelled at or worse.
Well, go look at the fan sites for USC football.
Exactly.
And our boosters will act like it is life or death, right?
Yeah, no,
completely.
Yeah. I mean, I had a student in my class last couple of years ago, who, when he found out that I was involved with athletics, it's like I'm like, really, you I think you need some help here, because you're placing way too much of your energy into this thing that's a sport that it's miraculous. It does all those wonderful things, but they're not like the football team's not out here trying to combat homelessness, or these issues that are real.
Cure cancer.
So the student was a fan.
He was a student. He was an alum, undergraduate alum, but he's in graduate school, and he was like emotional about some things like on Tuesday, right? And the game was on Saturday, and you're still like visibly shaking.
Yeah.
Come on, let's
Sounds like
let's
half the
talk.
guys I went to school with.
Yeah, right. And I get it. No, I get it. Look,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
And especially, why he talked about in particular was that he was there during the championship run, right? So he knows what greatness is like, right?
He knows what that feels like.
He knows what that feels like, right? But you lose perspective, right? Yeah. And I think with athletes who understand that this is big and huge, but it's not everything, then they could become gracious, and they're grateful for the opportunity to be in the moment, to do what they do, give it their all, and put it into perspective. So when you say to me gratitude, why is gratitude important? That's one question. A deeper question is, why is gratitude important to an elite athlete? Is because what I've seen is an elite athlete who has gratitude and is appreciative of the experiences that they have, are well equipped to go and be elite for a long period of time, because they figured it out.
I think gratitude also moves you out of fear. Can be, for some, trotting onto the field, the court, or whatever, having a sense of fear because of the bigness of the situation. Maybe it's a big-time game or whatever, and they want to perform well. They practice well, and so I think shifting and pivoting to gratitude, and I like your opinion on this, I think it takes them out of that place into more of a place of, geez, look what I get to do.
Yeah, and then they're just playing. Because it's
They're just
fun,
playing.
fun. Like you've said this before, sports is play, right?
It's play.
So you get out on the field and you're not any longer worrying about the consequences. You're like, man, how cool is this? I get to play.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether it's because your teammate is injured and you just found out that they're not going to be able to play and you're really relying on them, or just the stress of the moment, like you say, displacing those issues that are anxiety provoking onto something like gratitude, it's like a win-win situation because you're not focusing on this,
right,
and you're focusing on something that has been proven scientifically to contribute to lower heart rate or blood pressure, or just being in the moment and being able to, and if you talk about folks who've been in championships, like those moments, like being able to slow it down to like take it in, as opposed to so worried about what happened or what's going to happen. That moment, they cherish it more. Some of the stories that you just heard, we just had the Title IX celebration. We had a ceremony on campus, and we brought back some of the legends and some of the folks who were pioneers in the idea of the women of Troy. They had a panel, and the folks that are there just really help you understand that they knew what they were doing was changing the world, right? Wow. But at the same time, they understood that it was sport, but it was also possibilities for future generations. And so it really kind of was life or death in many ways, right? But they had it in, like, they talked about it perspectives. They had these alums who come back and they were celebrating, they were telling stories, and it's just amazing how just as champions, as elite athletes, they are able to reflect on it so much about like how important it was to them, right? And what was going on, and how grateful they are for having those opportunities.
God, what an experience to be at the forefront of that. But I think also that because of the largesse of the whole situation, the fact that they saw that this is going to impact future generations, that wasn't just about them.
Right. And therefore, they're grateful to be there. They're grateful to take part in that. And they're also like willing to sacrifice and do the kinds of things more so than just serving themselves. Right. I find that another valuable experience I've had being around elite athletes is the idea that everyone talks about what is your purpose, right? And most of them, from being recruited or what have you, they can tell, well, my purpose is, or I feel like this. I always like to ask them, well, why is that your purpose? And sometimes it comes out in their explanation. I want to be great because it's going to give me an opportunity to provide for my family. Well, why is that important? I mean, it may seem like, duh, it's important to provide for your family. But to hear a narrative, to hear someone say, well, I just want to, like, I knew that my father struggled with some things and he wasn't able to do what he wanted to do. And here I am in a position to do this. And I want to be great for this reason. So it's easy to say what you want to be great at, but why? So the why behind the purpose, I think, is very important.
And that's the difference between, I think, a person who hits this point of their life to somebody who hits that higher level is when you do make it about something else other than just yourself.
Yes. Right. When you look at like long-term professional athletes and their foundations and their organizations, the guy Seneca Wallace, who's a quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
So he went to my high school, right? And he's this week he's up in Tacoma, Washington, doing a football camp. And one of my buddies, who's a coach, is up there helping out. And he's like, "Yeah, I talked to Seneca, and Seneca's younger than we are. And my buddy knows about this youth program called OK Kids, that Seneca was a part of when he was in 5th and 6th grade. Right. And my buddy Bob, whose brother-in-law was a part of that organization, founded it, said, "Hey, Seneca, you remember your OK Kid days?" And Seneca just eyes lit up. He says, "Yeah," and he talked about how important that was for him and what it did, and how it contributed to who he is to this day. But I bring it up is because here he is. Seneca had a decent career in the NFL. I don't know how many years he was there, and he certainly wasn't a champion or a Hall of Fame guy. But he's still traveling around putting on football camps in Tacoma, Washington.
Right.
And because he realizes that those moments that he had meant something beyond what, for himself and for his family and the income that he's had. He's not doing it to make money. He's doing it to touch lives.
Right.
And the way he talked about the opportunity that he had as a young kid and now what he's trying to do for others, to me, that's an idea, that's an example of gratitude.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
This is the part where we're supposed to tell people to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Okay, will you please do that then? I mean,
Yeah.
if you enjoy it,
Yeah.
please do.
And if you don't, do it anyways, because we need your help.
We do.
Also, we have a website called GameChangeNation.com. Just go there and subscribe and you'll get tons of free content.
And what we're really trying to do is create a community of people that love sports.
Yep.
And the great lessons that we learn from sports, but we want to hear from you.
We do. So we're going to have a bunch of social media pages from TikTok to Instagram to Twitter to Facebook. Instagram, I probably already said all of them. Please join them and tell us your stories. We'd love to hear from you. Oh, and we wrote a book.
Oh,
Forgot about that.
Forgot that.
The book is called Through the Tunnel. It's available on Amazon now. If you go straight down here to this link that you can see below us, you will be able to purchase it. We'd love it if you could do it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.